Felicity Ahafi, and you're joining us this morning. Good morning, Felicity.
Good morning. How are you?
We're well, despite the rains almost wanting to beat us this morning, but we're well. What about you?
By the grace, I'm preparing to set off from my house.
Fantastic.
My place is partly cloudy.
So it's not started
cloudy.
there yet. It's not raining. It's not raining. Which part of Accra is that?
We've got a place it's on the road of Adenta to Dodua.
Oh, okay. Because I know around the office right now, it's been raining. I know Teshi, and Shubi Osu and its environs. We've begun to experience rain already. Is this what we're going to have for the rest of the day?
Yes, for this morning we have some patches of rain and thunder clouds drifting from Lomé into the country, and it will persist into the afternoon for the eastern portion. Then by evening it will shift to Hafasine, Axim, Takrady, Winneba, and its environs. Then those of us inland, Volta region, Oti region, Eastern, Ashanti, into Savannah, Bono East. We expect from afternoon to evening localized development of rain and thunder. Then the north, today we don't expect much activity for them, so they are going to be lucky to have the smile of the sun, a bit of warmness over their area. Temperatures will be around 31 to 33 degrees Celsius. For along the coastal strip, temperatures will be between 29 and 30. So for the fisher folks, the state of the sea is still expected to be rough, and today too, a portion will experience some rain. Those in Aflawo, those in Abuzume, those in Teshi into the ocean areas will also have some showers on the ocean. Water Lake, pretty cool this morning, but afternoon to evening, they have to watch out for rain and thunder, especially around the Afram Plains area.
As always, thank you very much. So by midday, we should be expecting that this little rain we're experiencing this morning as well will be gone.
Yes, it will become cloudy with little breaks in there for us to see the sun.
Right then. Thank you as always, Felicity.
You're most welcome.
But if you're just tuning in, welcome to the best breakfast show in the entirety of the world. Mawuena and Sixtus sitting in for your regulars. Johnnie Hughes. Helen will join us pretty shortly as well. The show is interactive. Find us on our various social media handles, 3FM927 on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Well, if you're a newbie, Twitter is now X. So reach out to us. Use the hashtag 3FM Sunrise. Leave a message for us on all of the social media handles. You're a part of the big conversations we'll be having all throughout this morning. So join us in the journey. Let me bring in Sixtus Don Ullo, producer extraordinaire, joining us as well. And just by the mention of the name as well, Helen Appiah-Ampofo, who was yesterday dissecting our rent issues. She has to tell us whether or not she came with packages for persons, listeners to be able to access affordable loans to get homes as well. And
absolutely.
So, thank you very much
gifts.
Absolutely. We look forward to the gifts.
As soon as we finish the review, come and see me for your brand new set of keys.
Ish.
Yes.
Is it a
Pardon?
You look beautiful.
What's a surprise?
Oh.
Because I don't feel beautiful.
Oh, you are.
But
that's
you are.
wonderful news and music to my ears because girls are breaker crack.
From Afro Connect to linking
it to all of this, but it's been an interesting couple of days. Afro Connect. You Ghana won the Jollof War.
No.
Ghana what?
We didn't.
Please. We were struggling for third position.
Oh.
We shared it with some other country. Be like that. Ghana cannot
Sierra Leone,
again.
they beat us blue black.
Okay, I think I was monitoring from the wrong platform.
Yeah, you were.
I'm monitoring from entirely the wrong platform.
Blue black. Initial provisional results were suggesting we have
Yes.
again.
And that's
jubilant.
all. After the sometimes
we keep telling you,
your team will score
beyond the
headlines. No, but you know the feeling. Your team will score, and then you've got maybe 20 minutes to go. But
So
this
wait,
one,
wait,
dear,
wait.
once I saw the provisional, I said, "Wait, dear, I mean, any challenger,
with
no
Comoros,
challenger."
I have stopped behaving like that.
Leading 2-0, all wrapped
in a
up.
matter of 5 seconds, we lost that game.
We do actually, and we're out of the tournament.
This is a cautionary
you are struggling
tale.
with Comoros for 1 goal. You say you drew.
I mean, the facts of the match says we do, but we lost greatly as a result.
And this is a cautionary tale to all of us. Don't jubilate too early.
Provisional results. So it makes me recall Akwitia. You know, when some of the provisional results came from the stronghold.
Don't open wounds.
Okay, I apologize. No, I mean,
don't open wounds.
I apologize.
Yes,
because I recall.
You are part of the Hune.
I beg you.
Yes,
I beg you. But let's get into the papers this morning. Get an understanding as to what's been happening. You've mentioned what is on Sixtus's newspaper. Yes,
in fact, also on mine. I'm guessing on a number of the papers this morning.
Mine doesn't. I just have to be sure. Yeah.
So which papers have them?
The Accra Times doesn't have anything on the Huna. The Daily Post as well doesn't have anything on the Huna. So yeah.
So Simon, you didn't cover the demo. You see?
Others have covered. It's okay.
Mama has covered. It's on the custodian, and this is what
News Center. Of course.
So Elvis covered, Mahama covered. Simon did not cover. Okay.
Daily Post as well did not. So Akani.
All right. Shall I get into it? Okay.
Yes.
No, I don't like what you are trying to say. You get into it.
Okay. The News Center newspaper this morning, they say detail-driven news. And the front page has this to say, big demo against tyranny. Full story is on page 2. There's a picture
that is
to go along
right?
with that story. Indeed, it is. And you've got some pictures there. Take a look at this. So, big demo against tyranny, political persecution, intimidation, selective justice, gagging of dissent to silence critics, amongst other complaints. And
is it the headline that's causing you to say
yes,
that?
Why are you screaming?
Yeah, so it's the headline.
It says political persecution, intimidation, selective justice, gagging of dissent to silence critics, amongst other complaints.
This is all happening in Ghana. Yeah.
This is what is happening in Ghana. And quite interestingly, yesterday when Alex Segbefia actually received the petition at the frontage of Jubilee House, he says, well, you've come here today, huh? You see how you've presented it here. I'm summarizing and paraphrasing. But if I read beyond the English, yes, if I read beyond the English, this is what he was saying. I'm interpreting it. He said, you are here, you've reached here, you've come all the way. You weren't stopped at 37, right? Okay.
No barricades.
No barricades. Nobody has held your neck, right? You provided it and here to me.
Nobody's shouting.
Nobody's shouting. Nobody's preventing you from also coming to the seat of government that belongs to all the people.
Is no longer a security zone.
It's no longer a security zone. You are here. We've received your petition. He says, thank you to the MPP Youth Wing, and we will also take a look at your petition and deal with it accordingly. I'm sure when Mana finds the soundbite, you can hear for yourself and tell me whether my interpretation is in the right direction or not. But some more stories here on the front page of the News Center. Brian Knott, architect of no syndicated loan policy. That's coming from Joseph Boahin Edu. Yesterday I was listening to Dr. Brian Champon. He's NPP flag bearer hopeful. He says jobs have come and jobs will come. He says it's all part of the competition. Mawuena, you want to play that for us?
Yeah, I think I just may have found that sound.
All right.
Yeah.
You have brought your petition. I am happy today to be actually standing in front of the Flagstaff House to receive your petition at the Flagstaff House, which in recent times would not have been possible. But today, you are able to come here and deliver the petition. And I can assure you that it will be given the necessary attention or the appropriate attention that it requires. Our president has always been a democratic, fair leader, following the principles and processes of democracy. And that is why, as you say, Ghana has been seen today as a bastion of democracy in the whole of Africa. So we will look at all the items that you have sent, and I believe everything is within the petition itself, and it will be given the appropriate recognition and points that it requires. And it wouldn't be long before potentially we will try and get some response to the petition that has been put forward. On that note, once again, I thank you for the peaceful march that you've held.
This is why some people don't present petitions. because the government will overshadow you, and comments like this will leave us having a conversation.
No, but this comment was necessary.
For every bass, there's
this
booze.
Comment, yeah, I asked
because
What?
The day they told me I couldn't come into my own office because they had barricaded the entire place, and when I got to the place, the policeman just threw his hand and said, "Keep driving." I kept driving to where? I'm going to my office. He said, "Do you know where my office is?" I said, "TV3." He said, "Do you know where TV?" I asked him, "Do you know where TV3 is?" I mean, I don't know. You just keep driving. I mean, how? So me this comment there, if he hadn't made it, I would have been very sad.
Did you feel my interpretation?
Oh yes.
You did an excellent.
Fight to be watching.
Thank you so much.
You did an because Why would you march all the way and be told today I'm happy you can march here and deliver a petition?
No,
it was a very heavy message.
Yes, a very heavy
Very,
blow.
very heavy message.
At some point you couldn't even go beyond 37. And I'm thinking, Hembeni.
White House.
This particular one I'm talking about, the barricade started from the 37 roundabout.
Yeah.
Then, so from that side, I had to walk through Waterworks to the frontage of the Flagstaff House. You couldn't come through.
Yeah.
And if you were coming from the Accra side, when you got up to the Sankara side, you couldn't come through. If you were coming from the Kaukudi Kanda side, if you got to the post office side, you couldn't come through. So you see, they had succeeded in boxing Media General and the other offices around here into that security zone. In fact, and indeed, there were some even right outside the gates.
They were outside. I mean, the barricades and all of that were here.
That day, I drove round and round and round. When I eventually got to this place and the man said, keep driving, I just vexed.
It's a personal, you can feel it.
What is this?
Yeah, I mean, but that's in the past.
My own father's house, I cannot go there again. My father has looked for watchmen, surrounded himself with watchmen, and the house that is the family house. No,
you can't
I
enter
can't go there
again.
How?
Yeah.
I mean, however,
it was always fascinating when
it was too
happened.
much.
I have to be honest, because
and there was not a single demo that we did not experience that.
And there's
especially when Helen and Co started talking about fix the country
and stop Galamsey and all of that.
Not to play devil's advocate, but I recall that one of the issues that I think our security personnel were trying to alert us to was that maybe the times required a different level of security.
No.
So that
Which
they
time?
claimed, bear with me.
No, I will not.
Bear with me. Bear with me.
I've taken 6 years. Please finish the statement. Finish the statement.
Because according to, I think it definitely was the police, there was maybe some intel that something untoward was on the horizon. And so we had to circumvent such an occurrence by taking these extra measures. I think
Helen,
that was a theme.
Policemen were brought in from Kumasi, from
I'm just saying that's pure hypocrisy.
From around.
You know,
the policemen who were actually at the barricades, they were not from
here.
Accra.
I see.
That is why a lot of them didn't know
how to direct us to
direct. No.
And this is intel you're getting, or
no. Oh, but this is old news. This is dead news. And even from you see the switchback road.
Yeah.
So if you succeeded in getting through, like coming out of the hospital area, you were to use the switchback road. There was another barricade at the.
No, I mean, I know it too well because I covered a lot of the protests as well. It was very, very difficult to bar Arise Ghana, where they were able to march just by the frontier because they came from the Elwak Stadium area. I don't recall any protests where they were successful in being able to move as freely as they want around the Jubilee House area. And I mean, let's be honest, it wasn't the best of things that happened.
No.
That happened during that time.
I think those things could have been better managed.
Because sometimes it gave the protests so much fuel.
Absolutely.
So much fuel.
Absolutely.
Because Fix the Country was staging a march. We end up at the Jubilee House. The message is simple. They don't deliver a petition. They just give speeches and then they disperse.
That's right.
But you block the road and suddenly there's traffic. Suddenly people are trying to push their way to because they can't understand why the White House have the demonstrate.
Yes.
And even the people who are not part of the demo, because of the poor handling of the security arrangements, they also get agitated.
Absolutely.
People were sat in traffic for hours.
I remember the first one at 37, someone's vehicle ran out of fuel because they were in traffic.
He spent too much time in traffic.
And he had to, so when eventually they had to clear, he had to go and take a gallon and walk searching for a fuel station.
Somebody was trying to go to the airport. They say, hey, in a democratic crisis, economic crisis, you'll be here with us.
You understand?
I can neither confirm or deny if I was the one who said that. But let's carry on, shall we? Still on the front page of the News Center newspaper. Serene Insurance O2 grabbed 2 CIIG Excellence Awards, and President Mahama nominates Paul Bafoboni as Chief Justice. Quickly on the back page, Ashaman erupts in music and culture as Stonebwoy headlines Momo Fest 2025.
What fest?
Momo Fest.
Momo Fest.
I mean, festival to celebrate Momo money.
All right, the custodian newspaper, fearless, fair and reliable, says NPP's Yensro Huna. Demo hits arbitrary government. NDC not serious with Galamsey fight. Catman Mills is speaking. Serene Insurance O2 grabbed 2 CIG Excellence Awards. Stop taking credit for cocoa reforms you opposed. Edu tells Brian. I'm sorry, not right. And on the back page, you have Stonebwoy also featuring here as well. Stonebwoy thrills a Sherman residents at Momo Fest 2025. CDM demands state of emergency in Galamsey areas. This conversation is not going down anytime soon.
Absolutely. I have the Daily Post and I think the Accra Times. I'll just run through it quickly. Bafoboni nominated as next Chief Justice comes with this picture. NPA boss confess with security agencies to combat fuel smuggling. Gold Board donates 2 million cedis to Mahama Cares in support of healthcare delivery. Attorney General seeks Supreme Court ruling on Tokonu's removal. Those are the stories on the front page of the Daily Post. The Daily Post has quite beautiful pictures of the First Lady participating in the OFLAD annual high-level event and launch of OFLAD 2025 to 2027. I suspect with other First Ladies from different countries, and so quite the picture.
Wait, so these are African First Ladies. Charlie, no size.
Yeah.
Whoa. These are homegrown. I'm seeing the one here, no? Yeah, this one. Hey, TikTok.
Nice.
Whoa. This Afro is the real Afro Connect.
It's the real Afro Connect.
Are their names there?
No, unfortunately, it doesn't come with names. It's just it's a photo album that they put together. And just finally on the Accra Times as well, they lead with Lodina Mahama weeps for children and women in war zones. Fight to end drug abuse. Bagbin enjoins Wala Traditional Council. Rise and be future leaders. Apenyo Markin charges youth. Zaneto stands by market women and drivers over CMB Abuja market land. Embrace sanitation. Busa South DC tax citizens and combating fuel smuggling. NPA boss confess with security agencies. NPA CEO as well calls for improved infrastructure. Those are the stories on the front pages of the newspapers as I have it. We want to get into the details. I see there's Tilapia has something for us as well in terms of the rent conversation that we were having yesterday. But Helen, how you came bearing some gifts. I mean, what's the general look like following that conversation? Yes, I heard the minister say about 65% of the country's population needs assistance to afford housing for themselves.
That's
Is
right.
he sure that figure is normal?
Yeah, I when I heard it, I suspect because it said 5% could afford without any support.
That's right.
And I was saying 5%. Well, I mean 33 plus million, so that could be right.
That's right. Very interesting conversations yesterday, and we had assembled stakeholders from different sectors to give a holistic picture of what can really be done. One of the more interesting conversations that I had yesterday was with a gentleman called Mr. Humphrey Tete, and he belongs to a group, I can't remember the name, but they're all about African sustainability. And he says there is a lot of money in that field that we're not tapping into. If you write in the housing industry, if you were to opt for sustainable materials, there is a pot of, or shall I say, to put it crudely, a pot of money you could tap into from certain initiatives, World Bank and so on and so forth, because what you're doing is sparing the environment, the pollution that we know that the construction industry contributes to greatly. It's the second highest contributor to greenhouse gases and just all the pollution that we have around us. So we should be thinking about using sustainable items that we find all around us. You talked about even sugarcane. Sugarcane is a viable construction material, but we have not even begun to scratch the surface in looking at how we can...
As in, we can do what with sugarcane?
You can build houses.
With sugarcane?
Yes, with the remnants, yes. And so much material around us. When we think sustainability...
Sugarcane is not bamboo, right?
No, sugarcane is what we...
Bamboo is bamboo, right?
Bamboo is
sugar.
bamboo,
You see those ones, what do they call the stick? What do they call it? That I know.
They use
the bamboo stick, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting angle to also think about. We also had conversations with the 24-hour Economy Secretariat and how they also fit into the agenda. And we spoke with Mr. Parker of Change 24 under the Secretariat, and he says that they're looking to get to a point where you can buy a home as an average Ghanaian for as little as between 80,000 to 100,000 cedis.
And who is this average Ghanaian?
Well. The one that can afford 80,000 cedis a home under some type of plan to 100,000 Ghana cedis. So
I'm sorry. And who is this average Ghanaian that can afford 80,000 cedis?
Maybe one that's plugged in. You get some kind of assistance, a plan, and then obviously ADB plugged in. They were one of our sponsors about what they also offer in terms of financing, because that's really the biggest problem. The biggest issue is financing. What do our mortgage facilities look like if we have them? Where if you look in other jurisdictions, you have a fixed period to pay your mortgage off. You might have to put down a down payment, but once you're in some type of fixed employment, you have a plan, and then you can purchase a home. I don't want to say that I left feeling discouraged, but there is still a lot to do. There is still a lot to do.
So you left
and the
feeling
minister, no, not too discouraged. The minister acknowledged that there's, I mean, if you hear that only 5% of the population can afford to buy a home without any assistance, I mean, it's not the most encouraging statistic, is it?
As it stands now.
As it stands now, the housing deficit is still standing at some 1.8 million. It's something that causes worry. Now, when it comes to the rent side, and that's something that a lot of Ghanaian youth have to grapple with. You're taking home, what is it, 1,500. They say bring 800,000 cedis a month for your rent. Really, what is left for you to survive on?
For a 2-year advance payment.
For a 2-year advance payment.
That's where it gets really, really crazy.
Really crazy. Really, what is left for you at the end of the month? So you see a lot of young people are borrowing to pay the rents. By the time they finish paying off that loan, the rent is due yet again. It's a lot of pressure.
And so you're always, your hands are always tied.
Always.
In some debts, one way or the other, and it's like it never ends, it never stops.
That's right. But there are initiatives on the horizon. You have Rehoboth, who are also another sponsor, no stranger to our platform, who are also doing some good work in this affordable housing sphere. They finished phase 1, phase 2, they've started phase 3. That's all been snatched up. So if you make
snatched up by who? Because you know
by good question though.
No, I'm being honest, because you see, when we have the conversation about affordable housing, I mean, all these individuals, Rehoboth, they're doing great work.
That's right.
But in the end, they are looking for profits,
of
right?
Course.
And take nothing away from them. There is a silent growing, I don't want to call it an issue, where persons in the diaspora, we're opening up our arms, we're welcoming of persons to come find Ghana as a safe haven, return, invest, and all of that. They're snatching up a lot of the real estate.
It's become an investment for them, really. So they purchase, they rent, and that's their secondary income.
Exactly. They are snatching it up real quick. That's why I asked the question, purchased by who? Because when we say affordable housing in Ghana, it's not affordable.
At all.
It's not affordable because the 65% plus. I mean, I'm using the minister's statistics who need help with housing. They need big help. It's not like they need 30% to add to 70.
In fact, they need 100% of
exactly. Sometimes they need 90.
Yeah.
And so when we say affordable housing, it's been snatched by who?
Good question. And that's also something to think about. You see a lot of these high-rise apartments. What's the figure? A good
every day when you go
empty?
when you go on YouTube. I mean, sometimes when you use YouTube, the ads pop up. There's a new high-rise building here and all that.
Yeah.
Who is staying in it?
Who is staying in it? For the youth, they just want to know, who cares where I lay my head? Does anybody really care? Because shelter is a fundamental need.
Yeah.
Wake up and smell the coffee.
Wake up and smell the coffee.
Every time, yesterday we were monitoring, myself and Sixtus, and we kept asking the question. We wanted to hear how we're getting the interview, because the big English, everybody speaks the big English.
Seriously,
I'm being very honest, and
you are not wrong.
Take nothing away from the brilliant conversation that was had yesterday, and the fact that we're trying to find solutions. But even the government, which is supposed to intervene, has not been able to give us affordable housing. When the government puts up affordable housing, persons within government agencies cannot afford it.
Now, even put that vis-a-vis what the Brits call social housing, so that it's not even a scheme that means that you own the home, but at least government makes provision for you to even have somewhere to lay your head. See, for example, Saglemi. We always use Saglemi housing as an example. What are we doing?
And there are other ones, actually.
Other ones. Pokwase, am I right?
Yeah.
Come on.
So
come on.
The conversation of housing rent,
the State Housing Corporation and the infrastructure that it puts up. I recall, I think a year or two ago, I was at the Adenta side. They were commissioning some of the blocks at the Adenta side. That's on the Rowi stretch.
Yeah.
And even as at that time that they had just, it was up to roofing level. The MD at the time kept saying that, well, all these have already been taken up. So if you are interested, you would have to make a down payment. And the down payment that he mentioned, you could tell straight away that the people who should take up all these buildings, they cannot afford that.
A down payment, I mentioned 100,000 or something. the
so
people
if
in
the
the ministry.
Unless you move about 5 of those zeros before you see me there. I'm telling you straight up. Straight up.
I mean, it's
if the state agency responsible for these things puts up infrastructure that cannot be afforded by the people, then I don't know where we are headed. Many years ago, one of the pluses of the government of old that so many people opposed, there were deliberate infrastructure plans that favored teachers, doctors, nurses. We hear about the low-cost buildings. If you go to all of the cities, the regional capitals at least, you would have these low-cost buildings, and they were open to or given to teachers and nurses and doctors. And I learned very recently and sadly, that all, at least the ones in Wa, they've all been sold to individuals. So if you are a teacher who is now coming up,
you have to go and look for
rent,
that person.
You are on your own. But these structures had been put up to accommodate these people, and in a lot of the cases, they were to allow certain payment plans so that they are self-financing, and the government could continue putting up more for the others coming in. But these days, State Housing Corporation is putting up estates that cannot be afforded by the ordinary teacher, by the ordinary doctor or nurse. And like Helen said, sadly, if you check the ownership of all these buildings, it comes back to the political class. So what are we doing?
Where are we going?
Where will they go?
Anyway, so Tilapia has that picture.
Okay.
It's a picture of
The house taking somebody away.
We have a tilapia
man.
moment of the morning.
Yes,
Okay,
we
let's
have.
check it out.
It says high cost of rent. The building is actually on the clouds.
Yeah.
It's in the sky, high up there, and it says Ghana's housing challenge.
Oh.
And you have somebody who is holding a rope, is trying to climb up and also pull up another person. That's a beautiful concept. And in a lot of the times, the one person who is trying to pull up into this building, he has 100 other dependents. So even that building, that 2-bedroom that he's struggling to get into, it is not even enough for him.
Yeah, so much
But
that
is
works.
what his economic situation
So
has
much
pushed
that
him
works
down to.
against you when you wake up every
When you
day
wake
in
up
this,
in the morning.
in this country. I'll be very honest with you. From rent, and you can tie that to your economic fortunes and how you wake up and your feeling. Because Helen was speaking about the fact that you're always tied down in some debt because you're renting.
Telling you.
And so how do you make provisions for other important things? That's why that conversation was very important yesterday. And hopefully it's not just another of the many talk shops where our top guns come and persons who come, because we need very serious policy direction. There's been talks about a new rent act amongst many other things which can but the challenge is the government doesn't own these buildings. And I saw a very fantastic report by my colleague George Queenin, who spoke to some housing agents and like pitched the story on the housing agent, and they said if you go and you want to enforce that law, the government doesn't own the building, so the person will tell you, okay, somebody else will bring
That's what I'm
money
telling you.
Somebody made
As
a joke,
soon as you leave, somebody is desperate enough and ready enough, so you
With the
go,
money.
just go.
And there was another revelation from that story that some of the agents go to the landlords and say, this guy, he has money, increase the rent so
the
that
rent.
my commission too is bigger.
There's
Was it
no
rent control that hadn't paid their
whatsoever.
rent at some point?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
And in fact,
lie.
the rent control I'm coming to talk about. There's
You know,
a gentleman who has been bombarding me with messages about rent control and the fact that we should have a discussion on rent control. Helen, if you recall, we've had that discussion before.
A number
That's
of times.
right.
Yeah.
Rent control.
Yes.
But this gentleman says it's not enough. He works with rent control. And he
Okay.
says that, look, if you look at rent control, is it a board or authority or is it,
No, I think that's where it
we
ends.
just call it
I
rent
see.
Yeah.
control. In itself, the institution in itself needs serious intervention.
Why do you
see,
say so?
From leadership, through the structures, through the enforcement powers, it is overwhelmed. They are struggling, internal struggles, and all of those things. And somebody made a joke about rent control. We're having a discussion about 6 months in advance.
Yeah,
That's the highest.
you
number
should
of
Yes.
months
you should pay.
And somebody said the rent control itself is paying 2 years advance for
Look at
the
this.
spaces that it occupies. How can it enforce this law that says that?
Okay,
you
so it's
should
not an
pay?
authority, Sixtus. So we're told rent control is in Ghana is not technically an authority, but a department that operates as the regulatory body under the Ministry of Works and Housing.
So it's a department.
Yes.
So we may have to begin to look at the status of rent control.
if we
as a
elevate to
department.
authority, does that give them some more
That will
weight?
give them more weight, more bargaining
weight
powers,
to
more
own buildings?
resources.
No, more weight to enforce.
ensure that tenants are not needlessly.
That's going to be very difficult. I'll be
No, it
very
will
honest
not
with
be.
you.
Look,
Because they don't.
look,
You see,
people
one
go
of the
to
big.
rent
They don't
control.
own the building too. So
It doesn't.
I have my property. Yes, and this is why the conversation always comes back to how the government is helping to make to, because when there is more. the market will even out itself. I have my property. I say, bring me 2 years.
Yeah.
You take me to rent control. I said, oh, okay, this, that. I'm not renting the property to the individual.
Yeah.
What would you do to me?
You see,
Now,
that's
if
the
they are an
funny part,
authority, they
there
can
are
enforce the
laws
law.
that protect you
Yes.
as a tenant.
That's the thing.
There are laws that protect you as a tenant, and we need a body to enforce those laws.
That's right.
So, for instance, your landlord just wakes up one day and says, "I'm increasing," and you say, "Oh, I cannot afford. Let's talk about it." The next thing you realize, there's a new tenant.
You see, when
And
you are in
they
the house, it is different. That
No.
I mean,
Mawuena, the point I'm making is this: that even as a tenant, there are laws that protect you, and your landlord cannot behave anyhow.
That's right.
Because he's the landlord. But if the body that is supposed to enforce those laws and provide that protection for the tenant, that body in itself is comatose, then we have a problem.
yeah,
You see?
which I agree with you.
So we need to
the-
start from
Giving them a
looking
higher
at
status.
strengthening.
Yes.
Put people there who know what they are about, so that there are a lot of people who go to rent control with complaints. There are a lot of people, and
some
of
want to
them will tell
evict their tenants. Some
of
want
them will
to.
tell you they have moved up and down, back and forth, and there's nothing happening at rent control. So that's the beginning. That's the starting point. Let's go back. We can ask for these houses that we say, let's build houses. You build a house that the journalists cannot afford. How many journalists can afford those houses that the State Housing Corporation puts up? How
R.I.P.
many?
Ikuya Donko. No, she also was car, not house.
No car.
Okay.
Yeah, she wanted to provide you with car.
Car.
wanted to provide us with cars.
Okay, not house.
So how
car.
many journalists? We keep using examples and we never mention we ourselves.
Yeah, you are always fighting for others. You don't fight for yourself.
Teachers cannot afford. Nurses cannot afford. Doctors cannot afford. Journalists cannot afford. And this is who? How many sects of the society have I mentioned? So who is affording the State Housing Corporation buildings? Who is buying them? And look at the population. What chunk of the population is taken by the doctors, the teachers, the nurses, the journalists? And let's even forget about the people who have just been graduated. Very soon, in the next 2 to 3 months,
You begin to agitations.
they will start seeing pictures of people smiling carelessly on Facebook because they have back degrees. We won't tell them what they are coming to face.
He's just smiling carelessly.
We won't tell them what they are coming to face. So let's go and start with rent control. We need to restructure it. We need to empower it. We need to give it more, to enable it protect people, so that somebody doesn't put up some structure in some area that is not even livable, and the person is charging you 2,000 cedis a month. Charlie Crosby. Mawuena, people are charging 3,000, 2,500 to 3,000 cedis for 2 bedrooms in this Accra.
2 bedroom.
Two
Chamber and
bedrooms.
hall is 3,000
I'm
cities.
telling you, you find that in this,
Osu and
in
the
this
likes.
city, yes.
Exactly.
Chamber and hall.
We
Chamber
need
and
to
hall.
bring some sanity.
Finding out
To
that
the
rent
system.
control is a department, I think, shed some light on this.
On why
On
sometimes.
why, I mean,
yeah.
they need enforceability status, really and truly.
It's not just the enforceability. Well, upgrading it will bring about some of the. So if you make it an authority,
Yes.
it's a given that the staffing strength will change.
That's right.
Even the office spaces will change.
Yes.
Very
You
true.
would have a CEO who would concentrate on fighting for
That's right.
that institution.
I think we need to have a holistic conversation about the rent control,
let's
because
start from
there's another aspect which says that when they come in too hard, we could also see a lot of black markets for rent and all of that. So it's a general conversation that we need to have in terms of how we proceed. But I agree with you that we need them to be taking the fight on for us a bit more in terms of how everything is going.
And now you can't even cough. I'm sure that even this conversation we are having, if your landlord is not correct, you have a problem for having this conversation.
Oh, for doing
Don't
your
be
job.
discouraged.
No, see, the point I'm trying to make is that tenants are at the mercy of landlords. in the current dispensation.
That's also because if you don't know, you don't know. But you can actually pick it up at
you can go to the rent control and there will be no results.
That's true.
I mean, we can
open
put
phone lines,
our community voices on this issue, and it will shock you the number of people who will call with rent-related issues. Okay, those who are being forcibly ejected, those who have arbitrary increment in rent issues.
They say cement has gone up. The house was built 30 years ago.
Those who have demonic landlords who are tormenting them on a daily basis. Those who, so there are a myriad of issues in that space, and we need to have those conversations. Yeah, it's good to start talking about the building and all of that.
But we have to talk. We have to talk about
look at what is happening.
Sanitizing
right
the space.
And I was disappointed that the Works and Housing Minister did not say anything about rent and rent control. You see, because that is the start.
So it's a thorny subject. Shied away from
I suppose because the theme was
affordable housing.
Yes, from blueprint to brick. It was really about looking at prototypes, financing models. I'm sure if we had, and time was limited, if we had also tabled rent as a major issue, we would have heard more. But the focus was on building. But I'm sure with more conversations, we can also tackle the issues of rent. I wanted us to get quickly into this demonstration because we know it was yesterday's biggest event. And as it's captured in the News Center newspaper on page 2, now, the opposition New Patriotic Party, NPP, has mounted a fierce protest against what it describes as growing harassment and state-sponsored intimidation under the administration of President John Dramani Mahama, accusing the government of weaponizing state institutions to target political opponents. The protest, dubbed Yensro Ehunehuna, literally translated as "We don't fear intimidation," took place in Accra yesterday, Tuesday, September 23rd, drawing hundreds of party supporters clad in red, blue and white and wielding placards that demanded justice, fairness, and an end to what they termed selective justice. I know that others had other complaints, not in tandem with the theme as set out by the organizers of this particular Yensruhuna.
You saw the videos,
I'm telling you, I was very confused.
People were asking.
Very. People came with their own gripes, their own issues.
Which shows the opioid and drug abuse situation is quite very
rife. Is very, 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 very serious. That is the huna. I mean, it's not unusual for there to be tangential issues brought up during a demonstration, but these issues, I don't think the organizers thought it would be tabled whatsoever. But from the break of dawn, the Obra Sports at Kwame Nkrumah Circle became the staging ground of the demonstration, with police heavily deployed along the designated routes. Protesters marched through the streets with chants and songs, while senior NPP figures led the way. Though tensions ran high, the demonstration itself remained largely peaceful, with security personnel ensuring calm as placards bore inscriptions such as "Justice for all, not some," "Stop harassing NPP," and "Democracy under threat." Protesters marched under the hot Accra sun, chanting songs of resistance, their voices echoing through the city streets. Hey, this is very poetical.
Right, is a storyteller.
Yeah.
Yes, very poetic. It's painting quite the picture.
Yeah.
And then it also goes to detail the exact route the protesters went through. As you know, ultimately, they ended up at the frontage of the Jubilee House, where their petition was duly acknowledged, received as well.
So, I mean, it was a good exercise in terms of exhibiting, showcasing democratic rights, and they were heard, which is the most important. They say there's intimidation amongst many other things, and I think where I agree with them greatly on is bail, and it's being used sometimes as a bit of a punishment. Is something I share in as well. I mean, once the person has been picked up, sometimes we've seen some of the bail conditions slapped on the individuals, and it's raised quite the question, because we've sought to ease out some of those requirements, such that it should not be seen as a means of punishment for persons when they are picked up by law enforcement agencies. I mean, you're the lawyer, Sixtus. We know there's Cable 1, 2, and 3 amongst many other things. So yes, that they had very good points, and it will be important to see what the government's position is going forward on some of these bail conditions.
And that important conversation should not be had or realized only when you are in opposition. We started this conversation long ago.
Absolutely.
A lot of them were not interested in that conversation. So I was surprised that
the people who dismissed the conversations are today.
You know, this was actually supposed to be in solidarity with Abronya.
Yeah.
Does it make it difficult to sympathize with the demonstrators, where especially at a different time they didn't have any sympathy for those who were
the issues?
It
does, but the issues have remained the same. And so for us who stay true to what the issues are, I mean, we can speak to it and say we're expectant.
We cannot also ignore the hypocrisy. You see, the times that a lot of the people chose to ignore or pretend not to even know that these things were happening, those times were times that equally involved human beings.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to these things, I keep saying on this show that when you are dealing with human rights, it should not be
don't pick and choose, because it will come back to bite you.
You can just step out and a policeman will stop you. Something as simple as a traffic offense can easily degenerate into something else in this our town.
It's very important you call out the hypocrisy as well, because last year, when Fix the Country organized their demonstration, one of their conveners was not on the protest ground
at all.
Was organizing food. He was arrested and charged.
Yes.
A man who was not on the protest ground. To this day, we don't understand the basis upon which someone who was not present was arrested.
He lost his job.
And nearly lost his education as well. So I shared it, just that I just would have preferred not to have gotten it, because sometimes it's very, very, for persons who through no fault of theirs at all were dealt very heavy hands at the mercy of the state, and then today we turn around and we're saying there's intimidation amongst many other things. It's there are just so many questions.
So let's not make these things political discussions, right. And these shouldn't be the political subjects of political rallies. I mean, what is the thing again? Selective justice. It's condemnable. Political persecution.
We always condemn it.
Condemnable.
From our viewpoint.
Gagging of dissent. It's condemnable. I mean, all these things are things that, in a democratic society, collectively we must. You don't condemn it when you are in opposition.
When you are the one suffering.
But when you are in power, you either pretend you are not seeing it, it's not happening, right, or you go quiet on these things. That is also condemnable.
Right then, 25 past the hour 7. Time for us to do community voices, but we'll do all of that after these spots of commercials. Thank you very much, Helen. Thank you very much, Sixtus, as well. Let's go for these quick spots of commercials. We return and we hear your voice as well.
The luckiest everywhere, for everyone, yeah.
This year is going to be sweet. I don't just feel it, I know it, because The Luckiest Season 3 is back.
And I'm about to show you how to grab your golden ticket. Just dial *712# and follow the prompts to purchase your ticket. Or go to theluckiestafrica.com, hit community tickets, and pick your lucky number.
Or let the system do its magic. Choose how much you want to spend from 1 to 5,000 Ghana cedis. You can even buy a ticket for someone else. Be someone's hero. Payment? Easy. Mobile money in Ghana or card if you're international.
One ticket can turn 1 CD into 500 times more. That's Smarts we love. Or your community could win 10 times more. So let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
The best in the morning.
Morning. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, please. Unfortunately, we lost that one on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, brother.
I trust that you're... I didn't catch that. Morning. Hope everything is well with you. By God's grace. Your name and where you're calling us from. Amen.
Red control for no or yet and for and see, and I'm going to see a government no any a down to me. And see a fella, and she shall know 1 year, and copy inside, tell you they are. That's why I'm about to say. Then I go to them. And now I get my entry before some of the demonstration. Masam Pata, what is stadium will be a batata?
No.
Aha. And it's also I'm looking for you. I'll get one market about a batata. Second, I found someone to do demonstration. Demonstration made secretary at Tata, the double foot piano of a Tata. That's what you are demonstration at Mako Fibacoa, and Tata. So I'm not a Mawa. I better know that on watch you. Shannon, Yasia would be could have been not of the South Kuala, some of the more demonstration. Will be some Kuala, some more point out. Say, on the 5 young Kujomo, not the Alcohol demonstration. I buy him the demonstration. Let me welcome, sir. Come on.
Thank you as well for calling. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
This is Frederick from Angloga in the Volta region.
Frederick, talk to us. What is on your hearts this morning on all of the conversations we've been having?
Very well. I think the yesterday demonstration by the Great New Patriotic Party is in the right direction. If we have a country that is practicing democracy, where the previous government have given that freedom, that limited freedom to Ghanaians to criticize the government and the president. But today, NDC government want to rule us as if we are in PNDC regime or military ruling. It's uncalled for. We can't be in our own country when the government will be using military to intimidate us, where there is a conflict at Boku, where there are galamsey there, where a national organizer of NDC will command the president to remove the IGP and the police service at the galamsey site. Then the president will do so, and galamsey will keep worsening in the country, destroying our water bodies. We are seeking accountability. The one NDC want us to be silent in this country. That culture of silence will not be certainly Ghana. It can be other jurisdictions, but not Ghana. My brother, I think this morning we should be talking about the removal of the IGP. The president used article that give the right to the president to travel with the first lady. As I'm talking to you, he's out there, out of the jurisdiction, over the weekends with his spies or the first lady, enjoying the same article that give him the right. It is the same article that gives the right to the Chief Justice to select any individual of her choice.
Are you aware of the travel provisions, sir?
I'm aware. That is what I'm saying.
You are aware of the president as well.
The same article that gives the right to the Chief Justice. That's what I'm saying. So is the president telling us that after his talk, when he's back with his first lady, he will dismiss himself or sack himself? Is that what he's telling us? This hypocrisy and overpower that they are using to rule us in this country, intimidation, the deceit that they deceive Ghanaians, have themselves into power, the propaganda they use, they can't use the propaganda and the lies to rule this country. That's what we, the New Patriotic Party, we are telling them.
Thank you as always for calling. Appreciate you calling as well from Angloga. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, please?
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning. I trust that you're doing well.
By the grace of God, this is Bright calling from Abusoka.
Bright, let's hear you.
Let me use this opportunity to greet Honorable Alaji Akondo and Honorable Courage McAfee in the Lepeku in TDC. Honorable Peter T this morning. When MPP, a year will be brave. Say, of the Abba Demo, and in 9 months, money away. Galamsey fight here, more creative Edia 2 or Ediama SRC John Dramani Mama. Yet your ma will more, and now Professor Fripo Boatin, Eddie report Barbon team. Say MPP chairman won't memo, and I now Musha Forest or Akunta mine is near one idea, and yet chairman won't me. And she MPP for a won't come 1 on 2. About we buy a entitled will be out. Rob Pacho Uti studio police for any soldier for be about Abecho. Baby, so your my way bonny, now on my way chrono. She demonstration almost on Mukoye. That demonstration I see, boy see, what could fast more any idea Eddie Mom, she has some more Mukika. We our demonstration I see, and to wait, and I MPP 4% almost about Bemubium. We send on Bay you to know, oh my Ghana mo. Moko si sa Crawford Eddie Abba, our Mukra demonstration on Munim de Edka, or Mobile. A Muka 1 on 2. Yes, I see John the money, Mamma. A queen of Befasu, our best of Vigal and say fight, you know, ultimate of my because 8 years now, a demand anado. Any Baomiano, or what young fans of my head. Never say affordable houses, yeah. Yes, see. Media mean tea say, if you will be Etia will see own Niska, your man affordable houses. About a time a problem can see at the more my Ghana. It's your best, or more Musha affordable houses, you know. Or Musha say, it's Mamufono to ever benefit. And yes, I be see, you know, ministers in Crawford and the exercise dino at the Amomo. And 24 bet me I rent it down. Nay, it's a dear mom. Right. Uncle 4 on Munibia. On bet me at G side Dinabi. I'm on bet me at Chanica.
Right then. Right. Thank you very much as well. And our urge that when you come, try and make it brief so that we could get a lot more persons to join in on the conversation this morning as well. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Good morning, Mawuena. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir. What about you?
Yes, I'm good. I'm Lincoln.
Lincoln, talk to us and try and make it brief so we can get a lot more people as well.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Let me salute to the Eastern Regional Minister, Madam Akosia Awate. She's also in the bush in the Eastern region fighting Galamsey season excavated. And that is what we are expecting. All the ministers who are at Galamsey prone areas. Let me also say that the MPP don't know what they are about. My brother, we saw all the placards they shown on our television and nobody is talking about the economy. Because they realize that President Mahama is doing well. President Mahama has created an enabling environment for Ghanaians and foreigners to do business. Today, we have the economic freedom and gains that we are all enjoying. And that they are what? 8 good years. It was hell. Ghanaians were not able to put a 3 square meal on their table. People were sleeping in cars, people were sleeping in garages, people were sleeping in shops because they can't get money to go back to homes, from their homes because of bad economic hardship. President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia will go down in history as the most worst administration in the history of this country. So President Mahama and his ministers, they have to continue to work and let's come together and fight Galamsey, which is, Akufo-Addo, which was the lucrative business for the Akufo-Addo administration for the past 8 years when they bought machines for their party executive. Yesterday I said it and you told me, as you cut me off. I'm going that Ghanaians are fully aware of that mining, which was defended by President Akufo-Addo. And it's the public knowledge. We will say it as it is. God bless you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lincoln, for calling in as well. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, please. Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Morning. I didn't catch the name. Ato. Let's hear you. I hope everything is good. I'm on for so free. There are lots of people calling actually, and so. Right.
And I got to for our economy within 3 months on the CDC. Not one of the ladies for Ghana. Yeah, I'm going to be the minister of the Mukoy. I'm going to come because I want to my and I said, yeah. And the only thing in particular, we're going to come again. Yeah, then. But I found it again. What I don't know. But I'm going to bring the time to be putting a teaching. I don't understand the impact of the project among the community. I could transform that to be a reason to impact on my students to go on. I'm not pretty sure the one of the so I can't be using that. But it's all kind of know. Oh, it's nothing confusing. You don't talk about the position that I think I'm doing and then I want to think to me and me that they are to discover and to whatever conflict and them all. A friend and you see from Maria at the Pangana, I think I can see and so Maria. When they could be quite a plan and the possibility to take it enough to the fire and the catching to be not pocket packet and a catching the start of the Pakatan. I know the good nothing. And you number and able to live and man also come and a quite protection is about no more. And also the meeting that. And the number, what you want to make it that I said, I'll be fine for them to leave your couple of years. What in the community of the money, let me give you a little community. The black at among the
try and wrap up for me so that others can as well join.
But when you the something and I will and then bring the name and we do not how don't be made a bona fide. The woman being a move, the them as also on the top people, and the Magana Papa, you are my community, and they are going out.
All right, Atu, thank you as well for calling. Let's get on to the other phone lines right now. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, bossman.
Oh, Maga.
Abu, and was here. Fire for us. Quickly. I apologize. Emritiawa, just quickly for us.
Every one of the patrol, I don't know the Qatar. As a Ghana, not you move to Togo, Nebu Burkina, and Tanya Bana. Also, second quarter, or no ban, or no move at Twitter, I'm not what time I don't think you be. At that time, all kind of you want to try you too. None will you. Another with the school of Mukoy or school of Mukoy and say, your chip, and your chin is in the energy. I will see there. I can lose no Mulusiano. Subamum and Mulusi the Beno. Omuta, you know, outside the Tatia. That lose no watch Lebanon. I bet you Muya and Shankova will support the position. A visit out of man getting red. A visually weedy and get something. And don't back to the president. And from there, I wish I could pass that. I'm up on the movie and then red. Hey, empathy. The deputy, everything I do know. That's it.
Abu, thank you as well for calling. That's Abu in Kokomlemle, giving us some stick that he's not been able to get onto the phone lines for quite a while. But let's get onto the other phone line right now. Hello, good morning. Unfortunately, we lost that one. Let's try again. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, Mawuena.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Mawuena. Exit. Hey, sorry.
I trust that you're well.
I'm good.
Fantastic. I'm also well. Let's hear from you.
I beg you. I want to speak directly to the Greater Accra Minister. Madam, good morning. Please, if somebody is listening and is close to you, look, Accra is dark. Accra,
the street lights,
super dark. Trust me, this is no joke. I'm not in for the everyday political I call it nonsense. No. Accra is dark. Accra is dirty. Look, His Excellency didn't put you there to come and drive Land Cruisers and then the LX 700s and whatever. And then please, the MC, DC, please. Accra is too dark. This is the capital city. I always tell Johnny, Shayo, isn't there any sensible person who would call the shot and say, hey guys, Accra is dark, do this. What is wrong with us? What is it? Don't we travel and don't we see other countries? Go to Rwanda. Go to Kigali. What again do we have to tell these people? Accra is dark. Accra is dirty. Accra is smelling. Why? Please. Let's talk. Look, it is not going to be. I said maybe I will sit down and say, "Oh, NDP, this time around, we will tell you in your faces when you are wrong." Good morning, Mawuena.
Thank you very much as always. Thank you for calling. 17 to the top of the hour. Still picking your calls this morning as well. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Opening, if you could kindly turn down the volume on your radio set for me, I'll be very happy, and then you proceed. I trust that everything is well with you, by the way.
My name is Daniel Shiti. I'm calling from Amamole.
Oh, Daniel, let's hear from you, please.
First of all, let me say a very good morning to my boss at DVLA, Logas Kote, the DVLA CEO, for the good work he's doing for Mother Ghana. And let me say a very good morning to my MC, Akwete Agbo, for the good and wonderful work he's doing in Gandalf District or Gandalf Assembly. My brother, I will advise the MPP that they should do the needful so that they can regain the favor of Ghanaians. But if what they used to do yesterday, they don't change and they continue to do it, then the next election, it will drop from 38% to somewhere 12 or 15%. Because since MPP lost election, you can see completely that the character and the behavior and the arrogance they were in, that made Ghanaians voted against them. They are still in that character and they are still, yes. So they should rather change. And Ghana is now on a good track. John Dramani Mahama and the NDC is performing good. Today, we have our freedom. Today, nobody is using military or police to intimidate anybody in the country, which they are also enjoying it. I will end by reading to NDC National Executive that the time for them to come to the grassroots and give the grassroots update of how things are going is now. We need them to come to the grassroots. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Danny, as well, for calling. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Eric.
Yes, sir.
The New Central.
I hope you're well, sir.
Good. If I call the New Central, you know it's Maestro calling. So
yeah, Michael, let's hear from Maestro. Sorry, yes. Maestro from Ayawa. So let's hear you quickly so that we can get a few more people before the sports team.
Good morning to him, and then your friend Eric Kuku Krampa is a custom officer, and then Tonton. Good morning to them. You see, I want to disagree with one of your colleagues saying that I tried to all of the places. You know, when you come to Ayawa's North Municipal Assembly, it's not dirty, and because if you look at all the electoral areas,
I think you were speaking generally, and there will be some differences in some areas, but generally.
Yeah. So you shouldn't see the whole of Accra. That one I disagree with you, because if you come to Ayawa, my MP Honorable Jaja and the Municipal Chief Executive Mohamed Awal Haruna give out street lights anywhere there's a light in the electoral areas and everything. If you come in, Ayawa is just close to your station.
Yes.
You can just walk and see things are working hard. We have a hard-working MP, Honorable Jaja, and the Municipal Chief Executive. My colleagues, assembly members, all of them are working hard because it is about the commitment of the MP and the Municipal Chief Executive. That's what makes the place nice. You understand me? Because if it's just there, because you have given street light to them, you have to make sure that they mount it everywhere to maybe scare people of doing bikes and everything. When it comes to areas, people are doing, our MPs doing well and whatever. Let me end finally and say that, you see, Eric, I want to find out for you. If today President Mahama declares state of emergency, when it comes to the issue of Galamsey, we will still need police and the military at the site. Is it not true?
Yeah, they will be enforcing that state of emergency, so yes.
And so they can do the same thing. That's what President Mahama said. We have a lot of things that we can do when we're not exhausted everything. One was everything.
Now the air around the entire mining areas will be different.
But we can still do the same thing. We still have them there. You understand me? They have to. President Mahama is talking about get a permanent police post there. They have to be there. When they declare state of emergency, they have to also be there.
Right.
Nobody's supporting illegal mining and everything. But sometimes people have to. You see now there's a sanity in the country. You understand me? Thank you so much.
Maestro, thank you.
You're my friend Johnny. Whatever he is.
Thank you as well, Maestro. Thank you for calling. Let's pick what will be our final caller. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Mawuena, this is your line is
very busy, very busy. You have to everybody has to make it brief so that we can hear as many people as possible. But I agree with you, it's been busy. Fire from you so that somebody else can come to, please.
Papa Bisu on the line, my brother.
Papa Bisu, let's hear from you quickly, please.
Are we having MPP as a political party in Ghana? Do you see the type of people that they paraded for their demonstration? We smokers? Are they serious at all? Are they not aware that this time around people are looking for a party that can really help in shaping Ghana properly in opposition? Parading with smokers? What? MPP is dead. Now about this, what do you call it, rent problem, to be frank with you, I don't know how we'll have to appeal to the government to come to the aid of Ghanaians, because it's becoming very terrible. But this is not about the agents, no, not at all. I mean, that business. It's not about the agents. It's about certain foreigners that came to escalate the price. Are you getting my point? It's about when we had these people who were coming into the system, French students, then some of these Nigerians, they go directly to the landlords and, approach to them that they'll pay this and this, not the agent. But to cut a long story short, I believe if government can come in by getting some affordable houses within the system, because how can you be paying a 2-bedroom house or apartment, I don't mean an apartment, where you have about 3 or 4 apartments, you pay 6,000 cedis a month. Who are those able to pay such a month? How much do you get as a salary?
Right.
It's becoming too much. That's why most people are moving to Amasaman area. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I mean, it's very expensive, Papa Bisu, I understand, and I appreciate you calling as well. Perhaps I'll take one final call after you so that grace period in terms of an extension. Last person, hello, good morning, your name and where you're calling us from, please. Unfortunately, that line dropped, but I said I was going to pick one final caller. Let me do that. Hello, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Good morning. Tobiga Madubo, India.
Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Abolo, you can call me Mr. Common Sense.
Mr. Common Sense, fire for us quickly. Mutala is just walking in with the sports team.
Let me encourage McAfee Nunekweku, MD TDC, and the champion man, Lawyer Zuma, Director of Port. Alaji Kondo celebrated his Nkrumah. When you come to Castle Main Gate, it was collapsed and destroyed by the NPP. The Alaji Kondo used 22nd of September to renovate and transform the customs. I salute him this morning. Mawuena, you see, yesterday, I know that you are sad about the demonstration that the NPP did. You are very, very sad. You are not happy about the videos. This is the rare character of the NPP. So don't be surprised. This is the rare character of the NPP. And I want to end on what Papa Bishu said about the ranking. I beg, and I want to beg my boss, the Work and Housing Minister, Honorable Kenneth Eji, that Settlement Housing Project, 8 years down the lane. Before His Excellency John Dramani left power, we went to a commission and told Ghanaians that the houses are ready for use. 8 years down the lane, they said they are doing investigation. Now, 8 to 9 months in our government, I want to plead to the housing minister, and I know TDC boss, now collaboration, they can do something so that at least the security officers can start occupying those places, so that gradually we can have affordable housing. This is the reason why the tenants, they are just increasing their rent at any rough price. Mawuena, have a good morning, my brother.
Thank you very much, Abolo, Mr. Common Sense. And that will be all for Community Voices this morning. Mutala is here ready and waiting with the very latest from the world of sports. And he will bring us that, after which we'll return with the rest of the show.